Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling like the floor was tilted beneath your feet? You entered the room certain of what happened. You left doubting your own sanity. You aren't losing your mind. You are being dismantled. Manipulators don't use fists, they use words. Carefully chosen, expertly timed words designed to make you the problem every single time. Today, I'm going to expose the exact phrases they use. 7 sentences that are quietly destroying people's grip on reality right now. If you've heard even 3 of these recently, you need to watch this until the end. Manipulation isn't always a loud explosion. Most of the time, it's a quiet erosion, small, persistent attacks on your confidence until you can no longer trust your own mind. The technical term is gaslighting, and it starts with language. Here are the 7 phrases that build the prison. 1. You're just being too sensitive. This is the first weapon in the manipulator's arsenal, and the most common. Picture this: they make a cruel joke at your expense in front of other people. You pull them aside and tell them it hurt. Instead of apologizing, they look at you and say, "You're too sensitive. It was just a joke." Do you see what just happened? You came to the conversation with a legitimate grievance. You left defending your right to have feelings at all. That's the trap. They don't address what they did. They put your emotional stability on trial instead. And if you accept that framing even once, you will shrink a little. Then again, until you stop bringing things up entirely. That silence, that's what they were after from the beginning. That's just the opening move, because the next phrase doesn't just dismiss your feelings, it attacks your memory. 2. I never said that. This is a direct assault on your reality. You remember exactly what was said. You might even have a text message. But the manipulator looks you dead in the eyes, no hesitation, no flinching, and says it never happened. Here's why this works. Human memory is slightly fallible, and deep down we all know it. The manipulator exploits that tiny crack of self-doubt. They say it with such absolute conviction that your own brain starts to waver. Did I imagine that? Am I misremembering? The more they deny, the more you doubt. And the more you doubt yourself, the more you depend on them to tell you what's real. That dependency is the entire goal. But denying reality is only the second layer. The third phrase wraps the same poison in something that sounds almost reasonable. 3. You have a vivid imagination. This one is more sophisticated and more dangerous because it doesn't call you a liar, it calls you unstable. It implies that your mind invents problems, that you're prone to paranoia, that your gut instinct, the one screaming at you that something is wrong, is just anxiety talking. Over time, you start filtering every concern through that lens. Am I seeing this clearly, or am I making it up again? Your intuition is one of your greatest defenses. This phrase is specifically designed to turn that weapon against you. The next phrase is the one people laugh off, and that's exactly what makes it so effective. 4. I was only joking. You can't take a joke. This is the covert bully's favorite hiding spot. They say something genuinely cruel. You react. They laugh and wrap it in humor, and now you're the problem for not finding it funny. It's a perfect trap because it gives them 2 wins. They get to wound you, and they get to judge you for bleeding. The cruelty gets laundered through the joke, and the more you push back, the more evidence they have that you're humorless, dramatic, and difficult. Notice the pattern forming. In every single one of these phrases, you are the defendant. They are never on trial. We are now entering the most aggressive stage of the manipulation, because at this point, it stops being about individual moments. It becomes about your standing in the world. 5. Everyone else thinks you're acting crazy. This is the isolation tactic, and it's one of the cruelest things on this list. By invoking a nameless, faceless everyone, the manipulator makes you feel like an outcast from your own life. Your friends see it. Your family sees it. Everyone has noticed your decline, except you. Here's the truth: they almost certainly haven't spoken to anyone, they made it up. But the mere suggestion that the world is watching you unravel is often enough to make you retreat, straight into the manipulator's arms, because at least they're still here, at least they still tolerate you. That's where the trap snaps shut. They manufactured the loneliness, then positioned themselves as the cure. And if you try to call any of this out, the 6th phrase is waiting for you. 6. You're the one who's actually manipulative. This is called DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. The moment you catch them in a lie, The moment you present clear evidence of what they've done, they flip the script. Suddenly, you're the abuser. They start listing every mistake you've made over the last 5 years to prove that you are the real villain in this story. And it happens so fast, with so much emotional force, that within minutes, you find yourself apologizing to them for something they did to you. Read that sentence again. You apologizing for what they did. That is a total reversal of reality, and it's not an accident, it is a technique. But even DARVO isn't the final move. The last phrase is the most dangerous thing on this list, because it doesn't attack your memory or your sanity, it attacks your love. 7. If you really loved me, you wouldn't question me. This is the emotional hostage situation. With one sentence, they have linked your critical thinking to your capacity for love. Now, every time your instincts fire, every time your gut says something is wrong, you have to choose between your mind and your heart. If you ask for the truth, you're disloyal. If you spot a flaw, you're unloving. If you push back, you don't really care about them. This is the final stage of the breakdown, where your love becomes the mechanism of your own control. The manipulator has now taken everything. Your feelings, your memory, your imagination, your humor, your social standing, your logic, and your love. There is nothing left for you to stand on. That was always the plan. Here is what you need to understand right now. You cannot win a logical argument with someone who does not respect logic. You cannot debate your way out of a system designed to make you lose. The only winning move is to stop playing. Reconnect with people outside the relationship who can reflect reality back to you. Write things down the moment they happen, protect your memory in writing, and learn to trust that quiet voice inside you again. That voice has been right this whole time. The manipulator's entire strategy was built around silencing it. It's still there, it has been waiting for you to listen. The manipulator built their entire strategy on one assumption, that you would never figure this out. You just did. Share this with someone who's been questioning themselves. Drop a comment with which phrase hit closest to home, and subscribe because next week we go even deeper. I'll see you there.